What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Blazer King alongside.
With Hawks.
Close enough. Our opening contest for tonight is a triple threat match between all three of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal winners. And it will be for number one contendership's sake of the United States Championship. Why entrances are still on, I do not know. This game is just a piece of shit at listening to my instructions.
It's true, I saw him turn them off.
Well, Baron Corbin is trying to get a good grapple hold on Big Show, but that obviously is not going over so well, because Big Show is just tossing him aside every chance.
I also feel like that was breaking the game's rules a little bit.
How so?
Because you have a limited number of reversals, and I feel Big Show did more than... I can't see him having more than 4. He reversed it like 5 times.
Actually, it's not a reversal's sake, it's a weight balance thing.
Oh. Well, if that's what it was, then...
Yeah.
It's dumb AI.
It very much is, but the same thing happened in the draft battle royal, which I still apologize for not getting that to you guys, but I did give the draft on my own channel through words, but it's not quite good enough since it takes the surprise out of everything, but
There was a lot of issues.
I blame Elgato, but now I'm using Elgato through OBS, and it's working better.
Ish.
Hey, the only time it's fucked up so far is when I had a video rendering during.
Which is more than your fault, and again...
Oh right, I forgot also, the obligatory unofficial sponsorship by Mount Dew Baja Blast, go and vote, or I will come to your house and kick you in the balls. Or in the case of women, I'll kick you in the vag.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Yep.
I do not share the views of my co-host.
About kicking people in their private areas or about Baja?
Just about everything. Meanwhile, this match looks like it wants to go backstage.
Too bad that's another feature of these games that they took out years ago that they really shouldn't have. It was a fun feature.
I know, right?
I gotta look to see if some of the old SmackDown games are actually on the PlayStation Store, because that'd be cool.
They're not.
That's disappointing, because I would pay 10, maybe even $15 for them.
At least not on the PS4.
I might check out the PS3 store then.
I might actually take a look as well, because if they have like a good SmackDown one on there, I might look into that.
Hey, if they have Here Comes the Pain or Shut Your Mouth, that's pretty much an insta-buy. Because those are two of the best SmackDown games that came out when they were by themselves.
Not to mention, it was during arguably the best era of WWE.
Very true. Hence why they were some of the better games. Aside from, like, reversals and some forms of gameplay.
And speaking of all that, did you know that there is a group that made a mod for the Nintendo 64 wrestling game, WWE Bleep No Mercy?
Oh, you don't need to censor yourself. It was known as the WWF back then. and to old people it still is.
Before animals got involved.
We don't need to talk about them suing the WWE and actually winning that case.
No, there was a group that made a mod for that, that put all of the current era superstars in it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a huge mod I was reading. I guess if I remember reading this correctly, like you can only get it on the emulated version of the game, though.
Hey, I'd be tempted to look it up. I have a Dolphin. Wait, Dolphin's the GameCube emulator. Whatever, I have an N64 emulator, so... Hence why I'm never switching to Windows 10, because they're against emulated products.
But yeah, no, I actually have WWF, and, if you've never played it, that's arguably one of the best wrestling games I played. Mainly for its sort of like career story mode.
Yeah. Which that's another thing I'm depressed that they took out is actual wrestler story modes instead of just, here's a career mode. You're gonna hate it eventually, but here it is.
I don't know. I like the career modes. Arguably, I like them a little more just because, you can make my person, and if they're done right, they give me, good choice and everything. But I think one day 2K's my career mode will get there.
I hope.
Took a while for the NBA games to get there.
You want to know something that my NBA has that WWE doesn't? That they still should?
A collectible card game?
WWE has a licensed card game, and it's just a money grab. The Big Show is the #1 contender for the United States Championship. But I was actually referring to the General Manager mode, which is in my NBA 2K15, and I think 16.
Oh, yeah. No, but that's just sort of, standard par for the course franchise mode for those. WWE's equivalent is the Universe mode.
Yeah, but they should add a GM mode as well. I mean, they had a GM mode last in SmackDown vs. Raw 2008. Which, if we can figure out a webcam thing, so you can actually watch my screen, we can do a series of that, but that's only possibility, spoiler for the future. Excuse me.
And the next match tonight is...
The next match for tonight is the #1 contenders match for the Divas Women's Championship. And the only reason Samurai is in this contest is because she beat Nikki Bella last week. Which, if you didn't see last week's Raw, what is wrong with you? Pause this video, go watch last week's Raw, watch Hawk's Nest, because you probably didn't see that either, and then come back to this. Are you back? Alright.
And if anyone did watch those, pat yourself on the head. You did good.
But I was tempted to have Nikki in this match, mainly so maybe it could end out to sister versus sister at the pay-per-view. But Nikki did lose to Summer last week, so she kind of fucked herself out of that opportunity.
Going back to our previous conversation, though, about the GM mode and everything, I feel one thing that they probably would have to do if they were to do that, though, is, if they try to parry, make it similar to how other games do their GM modes, there would have to be, like, introduction of new talent and stuff like that. it would have to be more of a versus scenario where it's brand versus brand.
That's kind of why I'm hoping the real life WWE does the brand split, so that's a possibility again. Because maybe THQ, 2K, Yuke, whoever the fuck does the decision making, picks up on it, is like, oh, people actually like this, let's bring it back.
Unfortunately, I do question where a lot of the creative decisions come from for this game. Like, whether it comes from the development team, or 2K, or even the WWE itself. Because we already know the WWE, pretty much with an iron fist, has the final say on who they can put in these games.
More or less, yeah.
Which is the whole reason why you have to get custom-made characters for, say, Sasha and Becky. And even hell, Cody Rhodes, because they don't want to put regular Cody in here.
Well, that's because Cody isn't canonically a character anymore within the WWE, so at least that kind of makes sense. But as for Becky, Sasha, Bayley, these are all people that were in the WWE at the time of this game being made.
Edge and Christian say otherwise. Cody Rhodes had a cameo in that show.
Yes, I remember you telling me about that.
It was glorious.
But that's also their show, which is one of the many quote-unquote backstage look at the company, like Swerved and Ride Along. So, and even
Kinda.
Total Divas, which you can only catch on E! Entertainment.
You can watch that on the network as well, can't you?
Probably. I don't know if you can or not. I've only watched a few episodes here and there because it is honestly interesting to see the divas behind the scenes.
I find all the behind the scenes stuff is rather interesting. Like, it's always fun listening to the podcasts and, seeing stuff where they acknowledge what it is, really.
Which, honestly, seeing Paige's relationship with, what was it, the drummer of 30 Seconds to Mars or whatever, fucking build and then fall. Nice move by Sasha. Becky going for the pin? 1, 2, no.
No. I didn't know about that, by the way.
What, that she was in a relationship with him?
Yeah.
Interesting things you learn when you watch Total Divas.
I don't know, I wish the games would do more interesting stuff every now and then.
Like?
It's really kind of going a bit crazy with things, maybe.
Page Turner! 1, 2! Becky broke it up just in time! Alright, what were you gonna say?
I have nothing else to add, really. Other than that, I feel like they could do more, but they don't.
I mean, they could... Wait, double pinfall and double breakup because they want to break each other's off. I don't know. The craziest thing I could see them doing is maybe instead of bringing back GM mode entirely, at least increase the possibility of selecting what cutscenes you want to happen in universe mode.
Yeah. Or bring back the create a storyline mode and then, let the community create stuff.
I honestly hated that story mode thing only because it was a pain in the ass to do unless you had a keyboard, but with PS4 it actually could be easier because of the whole touchpad thing.
That's not any easier. It'd still be easier with a keyboard. But again, though, there's people out there that, would take the time to create stuff. Just look at Little Big Planet as an example.
Yeah, they had to create a storyline for 2 or 3 years and people made the most out of it. People still go back to play the older games specifically to go play some My Stories. Back if you're going for the 1, the 2, and roll over 1, 2. No! Page breaking up.
Which, by the way, have you ever played Little Big Planet before?
No, it never really looked interesting.
Interesting. But we'll talk more about that at a later time.
Summer on the pin, 1, 2, no! That was a pretty fast count by the referee.
Guest referee match is still a thing?
In general or in this game?
In the game.
I believe so. I can look that up after this show if you want.
Yeah.
I want to say they are, but I'd be wrong. That's yet another thing that kind of made 2008 the last great game when it came to WWE games. Because they had the physics thing where you could suplex, chokeslam, etc. people outside of the ring from over the top rope just at will, instead of superplexing or somebody off a ladder and that being the only way to get them to the outside from in the ring. Well, or kicking them off the top rope, but that's irrelevant.
I did like the right stick stuff where you could control the grapples and stuff with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what I'm saying. I like that.
Yeah, that was one of the better features of the SmackDown vs. Raw game. 2008 was also the very last game to have GM mode. Granted, it wasn't just Raw and SmackDown, that was the one that included ECW, but that was merely an inconvenience if you played as ECW because you only had one title to work with. And a pain in the ass regardless because you have 2 shows to beat instead of just 1.
But here's a crazy idea. So when I said that if you need to do a GM mode, you need to have competition, that got the gears turning in my head. And I know that this is never going to happen. But what if we actually got like a wrestling game where it was WWE versus New Japan versus Ring of Honor versus TNA?
See, if all of these wrestling companies could actually...
Wait, who won? Summer won.
Samurai has already beaten one Bella Twin, so can she go on to Extreme Rules to beat the other for the Divas Championship?
We'll find out.
But yeah, the only way that'll actually happen is if Dixie Carter, Vince McMahon, and whoever is in charge of New Japan, Ring of Honor, and, well, the one you forgot to mention, Lucha Underground, all signed for that.
Lucha as well.
But I would honestly
didn't like
love to
Lucha
see
many.
that. Hell, I don't even care if it's an official game. If it's, like, on Steam and a fan game, like, I will buy that shit.
See, that's really the thing. Like, if we were to ever get like a proper GM mode, we would need something that pitted like entirely
One
different
moment.
shows and companies.
We're going into our Tag Team Championship #1 Contenders match, pitting the men who lost last week, the Wyatt family, but this time it's Harper and Rowan with Strowman taking on the Vaudevillains. Now, as you were saying,
We would just need a game that pitted all the different wrestling companies against each other, which would only ever really be a possibility in either like, an indie game where it's fictional companies against each other, and you gotta like build your show up against them, or all these real companies, let their superstars and everything be in the same game, which unfortunately I don't think will ever happen.
it's unlikely, but there are a lot of wrestling fans out there, so it's not improbable.
Fans, yes. Like, I think the game should come, but I feel it may not at the same time.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, then at the very least, we do still have community creations and an infinite number of possibilities with these games where we could just make our own. Not as, well, balanced, but we could probably figure something out.
That's true, but, we can't have, like, a proper franchise GM mode in this game as it stands, though.
True.
Because in order to do that, you need to have competition. You need to have the chance for failure. You need to have a reason why you got to work with a limited budget. And I feel setting,
I mean,
a wrestling game back in the... Huh?
I was gonna say, we can figure out our own, like, thing to figure out how much money our company has and etc. And as for competition-wise...
Wait, hold on. That's... The point isn't that we can't do it ourselves for, like, a video series. The point is that the game itself will never have a proper mode dedicated to it, because it's just not the same.
True, in-game that'll never happen. But, I mean, 2K loves money, so if we pitched the idea, they could try to reach out to all these different companies and find out how many they can get.
It won't happen.
Probably not, because all these different companies mostly hate each other.
Bad, they're already, pretty much fighting each other for,
Well,
dominancy.
except for New Japan, who just lets themselves be name-dropped everywhere.
Yeah. New Japan I kind of just see as, like, the company that's there, really, because, their main audience is, of course, Japan, and that completely makes them viable. They have no competition there, to my knowledge. Whereas in America, TNA and Ring of Honor are basically struggling versus the WWE.
Well, Ring of Honor is not struggling. Ring of Honor is like NXT, but not attached to a company that has shit tons of money.
Yeah.
The only reason the WWE is still in business and making as much money as they are is because they've been around the longest.
And the history.
Been around the longest. I mean, the WWE, at least as old as I can tell, has been around since like the 60s, maybe even the 50s, all the way back when it was known as, I think, the AWA, NWA, something like that. No, TNA was known as NWA, so I think AWA was one of WWE's first company names.
Well, regardless, though, I do have the perfect setting idea for, a indie title, wrestling game. Like, set it during the 80s, and then that way, just have, like, there be a whole bunch of different, individual shows in cities across the country. And, as the game progresses, you sort of, like, expand your reach, and you make more money and stuff like that. Your show starts traveling across the country instead of just being in one city. Not quite like a sim management game, because you could still play the matches and stuff, of course, but as like the main big game mode.
I feel like THQ and or 2K should just take a hint from a wrestling mobile game that exists and like make parody superstars and brands and do something like that. They would make money.
Maybe.
The future of video gaming, though, is looking subpar, so who knows what we'll get.
It's
Excuse.
It's really just a matter of everything that was, big video game wise back in the, early 2000s is just dead at this point. The whole fact that we still have WWE games is a surprise to me, and really is just
It shouldn't be. Out of every sports game that exists that is still coming out with new ones, I'm pretty sure this is the least one you should be surprised about. There are sports fans for every sport. That's why there's pretty much every sport game still exists. Except for soccer, but that's because that's not really a huge thing here.
If WWE did...
Oh, FIFA games are still coming out. What the fuck am I talking about?
If WWE didn't exist at this point, what wrestling game would there be?
I mean, if TNA's game wasn't such a flop, they probably could still be making games, but... We don't need to go over that abortion.
Like, the only reason we have this game as it stands is simply because they've just kept it going. Like, as long as there's WWE, there will be the game until the game just doesn't sell. It's the same with Call of Duty. Like, if suddenly Call of Duty stops selling, they're not going to make it anymore.
I'm not going into that whole discussion about shooter games gonna live forever, because that's not a thing we want to talk about.
I'm not trying to talk about that. I'm just
But
that.
You do have a good point.
Like,
however, what if 2K decided to just bring up a game deal with Dixie Carter and see if they can't make a good TNA game?
more power to them.
Because, granted, 2K is just a money grab. That's the exact reason why I think they could do that if TNA had the money to offer. because they're always looking for ways to make money, so why not actually make a deal with a game company that at least half knows what they're doing? Actually, I completely forgot what the company was that did it the first time, but I don't think it's a company that's bought many jewels.
Here's the thing, I can look that up, but I'm fairly sure that the team that made that game is no more.
Actually, I think the team that made it was Midway.
Yeah, it was Midway that published it. But no, the point is that as soon as these games stop becoming profitable, they're gone. You know, same with the skateboarding games, snowboarding games.
I'd be inclined to believe you, but there have been so many WWE games that were bad. The Wyatts are the victors and will take on the New Day at Extreme Rules. But yeah, there have been so many WWE games that were quote-unquote bad, but still got a lot of popularity to them. Like, did you ever see any gameplay for WWE All-Stars?
I played the demo. And also, I would just like to point out who used to publish these games.
Which one?
Who published WWE before 2K bought the rights?
I don't remember. The only two companies I can actually remember still own the game.
THQ. And THQ went under. Granted, they went under for different reasons, not just WWE, but
I don't know. Yeah, Midway was the only one that did that did TNA. And yeah, they went under a few years ago. Isn't that depressing? But that just brings back my point that 2K could consider bringing another hope for TNA games. If TNA was still a relevant company. Which unfortunately...
they're really not.
I mean, granted, they still put on amazing matches and have an amazing roster list, but they just don't have the funds to stay relevant.
So what's going on with this match?
Oh, the usual. Kevin Owens running his mouth saying he can beat anybody, and Bray Wyatt coming from a dark corner and laughing at that, saying, "Anybody? Boy, you better tie your boots tight tonight." Bray Wyatt is a second-generation wrestler as well as one of the strongest men in the WWE. I know TNA is a bad company, but I just want to go over something that happened in this week's episode that I saw on Facebook. That Jeff Hardy was in the middle of a tag team match, and his other persona came out to interfere in the match by distracting him. And nobody knows who it was, quote unquote, but due to a recent rivalry with his brother, I'm imagining that Matt took the Willow mask.
That's funny.
Especially considering Matt's kind of known to be crazier than Jeff. I honestly think that as good as TNA can be, if WWE can ever get back to that godlike point they were in 1995 through 2010, WWE should just buy out TNA, take as many of their good wrestlers as they can, divas included, and just go with that so they can actually have decent matches every week instead of the same repetitive bullshit. Hey, seriously, unless it led to a world title shot, you ever think you'd see this match on the real fucking Raw? No.
No.
Because that's a heel versus heel contest. Huh?
I haven't seen Wyatt in weeks, though.
That's because Bray got injured during that match with Roman. And by with Roman, I mean him and Roman versus the former league.
Yeah.
Which I still did like that blind call that Bray made, like, get him! And Brock Lesnar wants to be paid. Hey, did you hear that? Teacher said every time someone gets suplexed, Brock Lesnar gets paid.
That's just silly.
Cannonball run by Kevin Owens. One. Jesus, only a one count. I was kind of hoping the League of Nations would stay a thing, though. Bring Kevin Owens into their midst because, well, they needed a Canadian.
They actually did. It would have been pretty good, actually.
Eh. Maybe they'll try it again with a bunch of faces. Who knows? Ooh. I could actually see them doing like an International Express kind of thing. Sami Zayn, Neville, insert at least. Sami Zayn, Neville, Kalisto, and at least one more from a different area of the world. 2 count for Bray Wyatt.
Finn Balor.
I mean, if he hasn't joined the club, that's not a bad idea. Spider walking over?
Or he just swoops in and renames it the Balor Club.
That was kind of the original rumor. And Sister Abigail to Kevin Owens. For the 1, the 2, and the 3, Bray Wyatt is your victor. Proving yet again that Kevin Owens is just a whiny little bitch.
Once again.
Oh, what was that, 3? That 4?
I think so.
Nope, that was 4. This is our 5th match in the main event of the evening. A champion versus champion contest. Alberto Del Rio taking on Sami Zayn. Shit, you still didn't remind me to go look for that finisher for Del Rio. Alright, Mookie, what are you doing down there? Casey.
I'll remind you next time.
Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna check what my dog's doing after I skip the entrances, because this game's fucking stupid. Alright, 1 sec. Oh, you just want to be on that now. Okay. Never mind. Don't know what this is. You're fine.
Now seeing as it's on me to carry the show, I'm going to take over Raw.
Alright, and I am back, ladies and gentlemen. So how's this contest going so far? Looks like they've just been in a power struggle for the past minute.
Pretty much. I'm still going to say it's a real shame you cannot change the hashtag at the top left corner of the screen.
Yeah. Honestly, if I thought it meant any relevance, I could probably edit it and edit our own thing in, but...
I mean, why not?
Because I'm not popular enough where I could actually get something like that trending to a point where it'd be noticeable. That and I'm not good at editing words over other words.
Sounds like you need to learn how to be a better editor.
I do, but that seems like one of those things that would surprisingly take a couple hours of effort. And I'm willing to do that for, like, thumbnails or borders or something, but... comment down below if you guys think I should bother to change the hashtag at the top, or if you'll just get that shit trending on your own. If you are willing to get it trending on your own, though, I'll just note it now that you can go ahead and hashtag King's Court for this show, or hashtag Hawk's Nest for the other.
Or just hashtag the channel name in general.
I mean, yeah, you could also hashtag the neat plays. Sami Zayn getting a 2 count from that. Going for the dropkick. Del Rio sliding out of the way. Del Rio with an arm breaker.
Now he's stomping his chest in.
Forearms to the back. Kick to the back of the shin.
To the back.
Kick to the ass. Sami Zayn with his own arm breaker. One, two. That was obviously not enough.
Nope. This match is only just beginning.
If anybody is wondering where our number 1 contender for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship is, heard he's going to be making a special appearance tomorrow night on NXT. And you can only check that out on my channel at the Blizzard King. Again, I will post that in the description box down below. Wait, Sami Zayn! Going for the suicide dive! Boot to Zayn's head! Belly to belly over the head suplex. And the cross arm breaker.
Now.
But that's not enough to take out Sami Zayn. Snapmare into a headlock. Del Rio fighting out of it. All Sami Zayn has to do is toss Del Rio into that corner and he can shoot for the hell of a kick. Is that what he's doing here? No.
No.
He's gonna go up to the top rope for a superplex! Wait, that's a super brainbuster! Del Rio's head right on the top turnbuckle for the 1, the 2, no!
How did he even kick out of that?
Who knows, a normal man's head would have been bruised from that kind of impact. Then again, Del Rio's skin is already brown enough, how can you tell?
Racist commentator is racist.
Hey, I'm Mexican as my WWE champion, and a black man is the number 1 contender. I'm anything but racist right now. In general, that's a different story, but right now, I am not. Anyway, Del Rio with a powerful lariat to Sami Zayn. And Zayn, roll up! 1, 2, no!
Del Rio kicks out.
He's crawling for the ropes. Wait a minute. Sammy going to the top. Is he about to go for the swanton? No, just a normal splash. Sammy sweeping Del Rio's feet out from under him. And Blizzard Bomb! 1,
That'd be it.
2, 3. It was, and the victor is your United States champion, Sami Zayn. That also puts him in future possibility towards a world title shot. By God, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that if you enjoyed what you saw, to leave a like, let us know, dislike if you didn't, and comment down below on what we could change, or about what you did like, or anything else that has been mentioned throughout this broadcast. Don't don't forget to look in the description box
I did
for my
kind of
channel and go subscribe. Subscribe to this channel. What?
I was just saying I did go on a pretty big rant. Some people
That you
may not
did.
agree with.
But people can raise their counterpoints to either side of the argument if they wish in the comment section. Like, dislike the video, depending how you feel. Comment about what you did or didn't like. And subscribe to this and my channel, which is in the description box down below, or should be if I did not forget, for NXT. With all that being said, do you have anything else to say about this show, partner?
Nope. Except that I'm going to try my damnedest and now convince you to play Little Big Planet.
You can go ahead and try. If I can get from Gamefly, I might. But with that stuff being said, it has been the Blazer King.
With Hawks on the co-commentary table.
Saying, I hope you all had a good time, and we will see you next time.